Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Yes, hello and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all dandy and well. Now listen, we've had some great chat with so far. We've had Jermaine Pennant on the show. We've had the director of the Liverpool End of the Storm documentary. But tonight, sorry Jermaine, but this one tops it, I can't lie. With me is the one, the only, Emile Ivanhoe Heskey. No one is here to give you a clap, but I'm going to do it all. How are you, fella? You well?
Yeah, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm very good. All the better for speaking to yourself. Guys, if you are watching as this goes out, then please do drop us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel as well. I'm a massive fan of you, big man. And I have to admit, I mean, I'm 26 now. So when I was a Liverpool fan, I mean, my first ever footballing memory was Owen's goal against Wimbledon. And then you came onto the scene. And the first ever really period that I ever saw in my youth of Liverpool doing well and winning stuff, you were very pivotal to it. So let's go way back to the 10th of March, the year 2000. Emile Heskey signs for Liverpool for £11 million. Now, at the time, this was, of course, a record transfer fee for us. Went on to win 5 trophies, 60 goals, and become a real cult hero at Anfield. First of all, for those that don't know, we might have some young viewers, but how did it all come about, you moving to Liverpool? You're obviously prolific at Leicester. So talk to me about how it all came about, Emile.
Houllier, so if I go back to England under-18s, Houllier was the manager of France under-18s. So me and Michael, even though Michael was 2 years younger than me and Michael were playing up front together. And I'd been linked to Liverpool for a while, to be honest with you. But nothing ever materialised, and I'd always wanted to establish myself before actually taking that leap into somewhere bigger. And then going and winning trophies with Leicester. We'd gone to 3 cup finals in 4 years, and then it just come to a point where I just decided that I'd have to take that little plunge. I'd been in the national team by then as well. And I obviously knew there was interest from Liverpool, so everything else didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it here. Houllier apparently saw you and Michael Owen play for the under-18s. He said he's a diamond of a player. No denying that he was clearly a favourite of his new boss. He says he embodies all the right qualities of a pro baller, and he said he's very hardworking, sacrifices himself for the team, and he's always decisive because he's so strong. I mean, these are great words coming from a man like Houllier, who'd obviously watched you from a young age. But then your first season, Emile, I mean, let's talk about the 2000-2001 season. Again, like I said, the first time I'd really seen the lads pick trophies up in my lifetime anyway. So you start the League Cup final against Birmingham, 5-4 on penalties, 1-0 after extra time. You then play the FA Cup final against Arsenal. You start that one ahead of Fowler at the time. Then 4 days after, you're in the UEFA Cup final, 5-4 against Alaves. 22 goals in the season. I mean, 5 trophies, like I said. You even then went on to win the Charity Shield against United, which was a sweet one. And then, of course, you scored the second goal when we beat Munich in the Super Cup. So talk to me about that kind of 12 to 15-month period where everything just seemed to click for Liverpool, at least on the pan-European scale.
We were just riding a wave, to be honest with you. I came in March, which is obviously now, when you look back, it's like a weird time to come into a team. But yeah, I came in March. I'd actually signed for the following season, but they wanted to bring that forward, so I came. We were trying to push for the Champions League. We got into UEFA Cup instead. I think Leeds pipped us. Was it Leeds who pipped us, didn't it? Bradford away the last game of the season.
Yeah.
But to be fair, even if we'd won that, I don't think we'd have got in anyway, because I think they won as well. But yeah, so then after that, we were just riding a wave every game as it came, especially when it was in Europe. In Europe, we would go away knowing that just be solid at the back, be solid in the 2. We got 2 4s and then the 2 up front, really working hard, and just be solid. Make sure we try and keep a clean sheet, because we know when we get them back to Anfield, whoever it is will beat them, and that was our tactic. and we did that so well, taking Barcelona to our place. It didn't really matter who it was. We knew that we had the beating of them, especially in a night game, a European game in Anfield.
Yeah, so many great nights with yourself up front in those Champions League and UEFA Cup games, as it was at the time. Yeah. I mean, to win that many trophies, obviously there's the Super Cup and then the Charity Shield, which are still major honours, absolutely. Yeah. But when all these trophies are coming in the door, did you almost think, well, this is it now? I'm just going to win trophies every year and I'm going to have to buy a new trophy cabinet at home. This is life now.
Yeah, you do get used to it. Again, in all fairness, I'd won trophies at Leicester. Yeah, we say it was a League Cup, and back then, probably lucky in the era that people didn't really take the League Cup as serious. Now everyone wants to win the League Cup. Yeah. But no, back then it wasn't taken as serious as it is now. So I was lucky enough to go to 3 cup finals in 4 years with Leicester, winning 2 of them. Then coming to Liverpool, and you're thinking, now I'm going to be challenging for the Premier League and winning other trophies as well. And that's what we did in the first season. Wasn't quite to be winning the league, but it was. I just thought that for us, it was just that consistency over a course of a season we didn't quite get. We'd go and beat your Man Uniteds and then go and lose to Ipswich. Little things like that. You got to have that consistency. You look at Jurgen's team; they might not be at the races, but they'll figure out a way to get over that line and go again. And that is the major thing. I think we just couldn't. We just didn't have at the time, but it was great to be going to all them cup finals though. So it was good.
Yeah, we've got some pictures here of what was truly such a successful period. I can see you're smiling here to where that goal on the left, your one against Everton. I think that's Emile Xavier in the background there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The club not too long after. I mean, like you said, you were successful at Leicester, and it led to this moment, you signing for the team. My first ever Liverpool kit. This was love that. Was it Martin O'Neill at Leicester, Emile?
Yes, yeah.
I've actually met him on holiday in Mallorca once. Okay. And I had a picture with him, and he just wouldn't stop chewing my ear off. And I'm like, Martin, I've actually got to go. It was great doing with you. I've actually got dinner here. That was brilliant. But I wanted to talk to you about this picture here because I had Fenners, aka John Fenley, on the show recently. He's a soccer AM presenter, as we all know and love. He claims, Emile, that he taught you absolutely everything you know about health and safety in sports centres. Is this true?
It did go in one ear and out the other, to be honest with you. Leisure and tourism, and it's funny, to be taught by him at like 16, 17, and I was going to first team games and then coming back and doing the class on Wednesdays. But he was great, to be honest with you, because again, in all fairness, we never took this too serious, but he was great.
Yeah, I mean, look at this picture. Fenners himself said, "What on earth is that jumper that he's wearing?" He wasn't a big guy, Emile, but I don't know
he wasn't.
I don't know. This jumper makes him look like an absolute boss, to be honest.
Yeah, he must have been the style in the early 90s.
I mean, you're looking on point. You've got the lotto, you've got the little bracelet there, you've got your bits and bobs, but then Fenners, bless him. I mean, there's geography teacher swag, and then there's that. So at least he's got a few nice jackets now. He's definitely
he's changed now. He's a different kettle of fish now.
Definitely improved now. We have to say that. You mentioned your kind of early relationship with Michael Owen. Big fan of him myself, obviously, in the early days, and you looked out for him a lot. I actually remember a game you played against Derby where I think you scored a hat-trick. But in the game early on, I remember this because I watched the season reviews on VHS this many times, right, that I remember you score a header. I think it might have been your first goal of the game.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He gets injured. He gets a knee to the face or something.
Yeah.
You cared for him so much. You scored the goal and everyone jumping on you, but you're looking around to see how's Michael doing.
He's knocked out on the floor.
Knocked out.
Yeah. We it's funny because back then we formed a partnership, like I said, from the age of, I was 18, he was 16 at the time, and it just clicked. You just get that partnership that just, something. He knows what I want to do. I know exactly where he wants to be. And everything just clicked so well. he was a natural born goal scorer. I was the one that was more of the battering ram to create stuff as well. Scored a goal myself, but was more working in that realm, and everything just worked so well. I remember him saying that we played Italy. I can't really remember it, but I remember him saying that we played Italy once in the Euros, and I think he'd smashed someone, and everyone's crowding around, and I'm just there pulling them all away and all that. Just yeah. But now we just formed such a partnership, and it just went from strength to strength. And I was great for him, and he was absolutely fabulous for me as well.
Yeah, I've seen so many interviews where the interviewer says to Michael, "You've played with Ronaldo, you've played with Zidane, you've played with all these players. Who's your favourite striker?" And each and every time he goes, "Well, I mean, big Emile Heskey, a great player, wasn't he? And yeah, I mean, that's the best striker I'm trying to play with. So yeah, I mean, big Emile, great lad."
Good impression.
I mean, are you still close with Michael now?
We do punditry every now and again together. So yeah, we do that sort of stuff together, but nothing much more than that, to be honest. We can't lace up the boots anymore. We need to lose about 3 stone.
Well, you say that, but you played together at the Star Sixes or something like that.
We played together. Yeah, we played together in that. We won it actually.
You won it.
The first time we didn't take it as serious. We thought it was a bit. We thought it was going to be a bit of fun, but everyone was smashing everyone. So the second time we took it a bit more seriously and won it.
And you won, so that's incredible. I mean, what do you think about Liverpool fans' opinion of Michael Owen right now? I mean, I was one of his biggest fans, like yourself, and then he kind of did what he did, went to Man United, and I think a lot of people have this opinion of him. But I recently listened to Carragher's Greatest Game podcast where Owen was on, and he said at the time, he said, "Look, I always wanted to come back to Liverpool, but." It didn't work out. On the table at the time, he had Hull, Everton and United. He chose United, which obviously, left a sour taste. I mean, what do you think about that?
The thing is, if you listen to him, he's tried everything to get back to the club that he wants to be at, and there's no entrance anywhere. Right. So you don't go to Everton.
Don't go to Hull.
Well, this is the thing. So I think he had to choose. He had to choose one, and that was the one that he chose. And let's be honest, it's the one that got him the league title.
Yeah.
The one that got him another. They beat us when I was at Villa in a cup final, League Cup final. Yeah, so another was it League Cup? Yeah, League Cup final. So it's another cup medal as well. He scored in the final as well. So. He's just stuck between a rock and a hard place, isn't he? And he chose that one, and in the end, I can't blame him because let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, I think everyone else would have done exactly the same.
I think it's easy for us to sit here and point the finger, but like you say, man, when you're in that situation, like you say, 9 out of 10 people do the same. I mean, you had such a great relationship with this man as well at Liverpool. Obviously, Michael up top, you had such a great relationship. This is a great picture, by the way, Emile. I absolutely love this one. My favourite Emile Heskey picture, this one. But you've played with a lot of the greats, and a lot of greats have followed you. Where do you actually rank yourself in terms of strikers playing for Liverpool in the Premier League era? 60 goals in all comps, loads of assists. I mean, really, you've got a shout to be in the top 5 kind of strikers for Liverpool.
We've had so many fantastic forwards.
How you say we, by the way? Big fan.
Yeah. You've got your likes of Robbie, who's up there. Yeah, he's on the pinnacle. You got Michael. Michael has got to be up there as well. I know a lot of people might say differently, but Michael has got to be up there. You got to remember he came through the ranks there. He made a name for himself, scoring unbelievable goals while a Liverpool player playing for England in the World Cup. So you've got to put him up there, and then you've got the ones that are there now, who are doing unbelievable things as well. Salah, Mane. Salah's record is just
it's silly. When is he going to stop scoring goals?
Exactly. I hope he doesn't, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's just ridiculous the goals he gets. But you know what? It's not just the goals he gets. If he scored the chances, some of the ones that you think are easy enough chances, he could be near on double that.
I mean, especially in his first season. I mean, the original question was, where do you rank yourself? But I think if you did play in this team and you replace Bobby, I mean, he would have a truck more goals. Even in the first season, Emile, I think there was a lot of criticism about, he's missed so many chances. He scored 44 goals.
There you go. You know, and let's be honest, he probably could have scored another 10.
Oh, at least. He probably hit the bar about 6 times.
Yeah. So when you're looking at that, you're like, wow, that lad's up there with the best of them. Mane's just phenomenal for me. You know, everything about him. I prefer him to the others, and really because when I look at things, I look at work rate. And I don't think any of the others work as hard as him. He's just phenomenal. You know, so I don't know where I'd rank myself. I'd leave it up to everyone else to do that sort of thing. I just think I had a wonderful time there, and it was great to be winning trophies and going to cup finals, and that's what you go to the biggest clubs for, and this is the biggest club in the world.
Oh, I love that. Yes, of course it is. I wanted to find out what it was like when you joined Liverpool. I've got a mate, Dan, who's at Mundial magazine, big Liverpool fan, and when I said I was speaking to you, he actually wanted to know what it was like and how you fitted in with somewhat maybe a closed shop at Liverpool. You had the old guard there, of course. But did Houllier make it easy, and did the lads make it easy for you to fit right in? We look at this picture, obviously.
Yeah, look, you got to remember I was playing with a lot of these national team. Me and Cara actually went back to England under 16s. If you don't know, he was actually the centre forward, and I was on the bench. Yeah.
Wow, so, score against Buffon, and he always goes on about that.
Yeah. So we actually go quite far back in that sense, and then the national team had a lot of players in there. Jamie Redknapp was there when I first got there as well. So there was a lot of players that I already knew, and then the others just took to me quite well. So it was easy to fit in. Easy to fit in.
Love that. I mean, it obviously showed. Talk to us about your relationship with this fella. We touched on it earlier. Stevie G, I mean, words really, there's just not enough superlatives to describe how good he was. And people often think about his relationship with Michael, but I think his relationship with you was equally as good, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, he's a phenomenal player. He was. It was only like, well, you got to remember, I was 22 when I came to Liverpool, so he would have been 19 at the time. Yeah. But you could see the traits and you could see everything that was coming out. He had a great mentor who he's taken along with him to be coach in Gary Mack for the first year. Yeah. And Gerard Houllier helped him out as well. So you could see what he was going to blossom into. A lot of people talked about my pace or Michael's pace. Stevie was quicker than both of us.
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a really long stride and a great precision with his passing, a great leadership. Yeah, he was just. But you could see it. You could see it when little things that he did, and you could see it coming out of him. And he just took it from strength to strength once other people started to step out of the way and allow him to be him.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable player. Talk to me about one of the I don't know, your favourite goal for Liverpool. Let's go with that before the next question.
Do you know what? I just loved. I loved playing in the derbies. So the one that you put up there, I'll put that one. The reason being is I played against Everton just before I left Leicester. Yeah, it was a tough game. It was a game, but it was nothing like any other game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then I went to Liverpool and we played our first derby game, and I was thinking exactly the same. It's another game. Why is everyone getting hyped up? And then you go on a pitch, and then you get lifted up in the air, and people are running more, fighting more, and you're like, I get it now. So to actually go in there and score that goal, and in such a game as well, where Gary Mack scored that last minute winner, yeah, I'll have to put that one.
Didn't Marcus Babbel scored in that game as well?
Yeah, we broke from a corner, didn't we?
That was it. It. Was it? I remember Didi Hamann making a big run up the pitch.
Yeah, and I think he played it to Robbie Fowler. Fowler crossed it. Yeah.
Brilliant, great memories. No, I think I would agree. I think that was in that era anyway, it was probably one of the best games, apart from the finals, obviously, where you obviously did very well. So 2004 comes round, 2003-4, we just miss out on the Champions League again. Chelsea, the Gronkiar goal. I mean, talk to me about how things ended at Liverpool, because from the outside anyway, it looked like that we still needed you in the team. And then as well as that, talk to us about how you actually felt a year on, when you've seen the likes of Stevie and Cal lifting the Champions League, when you're thinking, buddy, I've been playing for these for the last four years. I wish I was there. Or were you different? Talk to me.
Yeah, look, at the time, I never really looked back at that sort of thing. So how it all came about was I still had a year left on my contract, and Rick Parry at the time came to me and said they've accepted a bid from Birmingham. Go and talk to them. I said to my agent, I'm fine. You know, I'm ready to fight for my place, etc. And he goes, no. Cissé's coming in and you won't play. I went, oh, okay. When someone says you're not going to play, then you kind of move on, because that's kind of, it's not like Cissé's coming in, you've got to fight for your place. If Cissé's coming in and you're not going to play. Yeah. So in the end, you say, okay, well, do I just sit there or do I go out and play? And I thought, well, I've got to go out and play. And then obviously, like you're saying, that's the only thing I look back now and say, you know what, I could have won the Champions League. But again, it might not have panned out that way if I was there, but it's the only one that I look at.
Yeah, I mean, talking about some big games, Emile, you'll have great memories from this night. One of the viewers, Darren, who's a big Red, he actually said he was at Anfield for this night. Heskey scored. It's one of the best games I've ever been at. Goosebumps all over. I mean, what you have to understand is Gerard Houllier was out ill.
Yes.
And was it a surprise that he came back in the dugout that night?
Yeah, it was a surprise, and it's funny because it was the Leeds game that he got ill, and I got injured that game. So I'm sat on the bench, on the treatment table, and I look over and he's there, and he goes, "Oh, Doc, I just don't feel well. My chest is hurting a little bit." Blah blah blah. So I get up to walk out, and he goes, "No, you stay there. You sit down and get treatment, and I'll get after." I looked at him and went, "No, you sit down, and I'll go." And then next minute he's gone to the hospital, induced coma, I think it was, wasn't it?
But what a night. This Roma game, we won it 2-0. I think.
Yeah.
Needed scored the other one?
Might have been, I'm not sure actually. But we needed to win. We needed to win by 2 clear goals as well.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, that was the European home kit with the yellow one there. It's brilliant. Yeah. But this night, absolute great header. And listen, this Roma team, they were no mugs.
It was a great team.
Totti as well.
Yeah. Aldair's there.
Yeah,
that's the Argentinian centre back. I always say he's one of the toughest defenders I've ever. I remember him coming up against him. I like a little tussle, but he threw me all over the place. He was tough. He was very tough, but it was good.
No, absolutely brilliant. Like, I remember specifically they had GH on the Kop, didn't they, that night, and it was a real emotional one. Let's fly through some of these pictures. Talk to me about your favourite kit that you played in as a Liverpool player. This one was a bit more old school, wasn't it, with the old crew neck?
It's that one. That one's probably the best one I like, to be honest with you. Obviously, winning the trophies and everything in that one, and
yeah, it's got to be that.
It's very, very iconic, isn't it? So.
No, you're not wrong there. And then obviously all these great times definitely overlapped with England as well. Another great memory for yourself will obviously be the 5-1 game. This picture, Bex, Michael Owen, Stevie G and Emile. That's a great picture, isn't it, Emile? What a memory.
Yeah, it was. You know, great times playing, representing the national team, because it was good times for us all. We were young. We had a really good squad. Yeah, we didn't achieve what we would have liked to have, but we had a good camaraderie together, and yeah, we enjoyed it.
And then the title of your autobiography is called "Even Heskey Scored," and it's referring to this beautiful moment here that we all absolutely love. I mean, you're smiling again. The 1st of September 2001, I think this was. I was watching it in Portugal in a hotel room with my old man. And it was beautiful to see not only you score, but all the scorers that night, Liverpool lads. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, you've just said exactly where you were when that game was being played. And you can ask anyone, they know exactly where they were, because it's an iconic game, isn't it? They know exactly where they were when that game was being played. Tough game. We went into that game having lost the last game at the old Wembley. Didi Hamann scored a free kick. Yeah. So it was going to be a tough game for us. They hadn't lost a home game in over 55 matches. Going into their back garden and then being 1-0 down after 7 minutes.
Yanker.
Yeah. And then I think he could have scored again. And we just scored at key times. So we managed to get back at level. I think it was Michael who scored. I think Nicky Barmby headed it back to him. Michael finished it. And then just before half time, Stevie scored.
What a goal.
And I think that took the wind out of them, because they were probably thinking they're still in the game. That took the wind out of you going, and they're 2-1 down after 7 minutes being 1-0 up. Then you come back out and you score again straight away. It just took the wind out of them, and we just went on and on. And then I managed to get the fifth. And did the golf putt.
Right, so this is the next question. Brilliant segue there. So as you know, a mutual friend of ours, DJ Spoonie, great lad, filmed with him recently. He's the one that's put us in touch. So a big shout out to him. You do the DJ and then the golf putt in this celebration here?
Yeah, well, the DJ was my normal one. But again, Spoonie goes, "Oh, you got to do the golf putt when you finish, when you score next time." So I'd actually just done the DJ anyway, and then it kind of just segued into quite well, because it was the fifth goal. So I did but I don't play golf. That's the mad thing, isn't it?
Can we get another little DJ? There we go. The hand around, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. I think we actually have another picture of that here, actually. So
yeah.
There you go. There's the DJ one. So Spoonie can't claim the DJ one, but he can claim the golf putt. Is that right?
He did. He was both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah, he was both of them.
There you go. So DJ Spoonie has been out here influencing celebrations for the last 20 years. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Love that so much. Talk to me about last night, or not last night, the night before at Anfield. Or it was last night, wasn't it? What day are we on now? Monday. It was Sunday night. By the way, I've just got back from Tenerife from a month, so I haven't got a clue what day or time it is, to be honest, Emile. But what a performance last night, and with Kelleher in goal. I mean,
look,
the thing that I can't get my head around is how good we were last night, and then we still have Thiago, Alisson, Ox, all these guys to come. Virgil, Gomez, so good. Emile.
But again, Jurgen's giving the younger lads the confidence to go out there and perform. When you're looking at Curtis Jones picking up the ball, driving with it, we haven't seen a player be able to do that for a while. Picking up the ball, driving past players in the midfield, and playing a penetrative ball in between players to someone to turn and then drive again. We haven't seen that for a long time. I think his pass into Trent for the cross was. But you look at the play before that, getting the ball, dropping the shoulder, going past someone in the midfield, driving. We haven't seen that for a long time. But like you're saying, it puts pressure on now the other ones who have got to come back to up their game, because these lads are doing well.
Absolutely. I think Curtis Jones, like you say, in that previous pass to Trent, he must have beat two fellas. He's dropping shoulders all over the place. Unbelievable finish as well from the cross. I mean, you would love to play in this club. I mean, I don't think anyone wouldn't want to play in it. But for me, you're a Klopp player, and that's a huge compliment, I think.
The thing is, I would like to think so, especially because I'm used to playing. Well, not used. I can play with one up front. You remember we used to play with two up front, but we actually play with one up front. One would usually drop in, so we'd play, especially when we're defending. One would drop in, but we usually play with two up front. But I can play with one up front, but again, you just make runs. When you've got Trent on the ball, just make a run. And you know he's going to find you. And that was the great thing about having Stevie playing. Just make a run and you know he's going to find you. And that was the easiest part of my game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fans back at Anfield as well, Emile. There was only 1,500 in the Kop, or 2,000 in the Kop last night. Dion Dendoncker has come out for Wolves today and said it felt like there was 15,000 in the Kop. That's how loud they were. You've experienced it firsthand. When you walk out onto that pitch and you've scored a goal in front of the Kop, you're standing there. I mean, is it possible to actually describe what that feels like?
It's difficult. The energy is a joke, and this is why I say you need fans back in the ground, because the energy you get from the crowd is like no other. When people are telling you about they need the fans in, the reason they need the fans in, it's that drive, it's that energy that the fans give you. Look at how many times you watch a game. And a team could be 2-0 down, but the fans start to really roar and get up. Next minute, you're 2-2. Then you're 3-2. You're like, well, what's happened? What's the difference? It's the fans. It's the energy that the fans are giving you. It's that passion to go out there and really have a go. And I always speak to a friend of mine who's a huge Liverpool fan as well. I said, why is it so different in the European nights? Because I don't know. It's just, I was like, yeah, we feel it on the pitch. That is different in the European nights. It's just so much passion and so loud.
I just wish one day, maybe, who knows, in this world I might get to play there. But I mean, a tenth of what it should be was there last night, but they still were the 12th man, and you can see how much it means to them to be back, especially. Can Liverpool win the league though, Emile, with this team?
Yeah, they can. They can. Again, it's just trying to. Is trying to get them lads back as quick as possible to mount a real sustainable fight. I think Jose Mourinho, he knows how to win. Man will look great, and I think he's. This might be controversial, but he's thriving from not having fans in the stadium a little bit, because I think with the way that they play, the Spurs fan expect a bit more on the front foot as opposed to being on the back foot and soaking up and then hitting on the break. Yeah. But again, I think they will allow that for a while they're winning. And if they go on and win the league, they'll be okay with that. But then what's the next step? They'll want someone to be a bit more forward thinking. They want to Poch back. But Mourinho's not that. Mourinho knows how to win. But I think Liverpool definitely got a chance of retaining that, but it's going to be tougher.
Well, you mentioned Tottenham a lot there. Is that you saying that the only challenges Liverpool have right now are Tottenham?
No. I'm just saying they're on top. So again, Chelsea as well.
Chelsea.
But again, with Frank being such a, I would say, a novice in that area of management. Not being a player, he's done it at the player, but when it comes to management, being a novice in that area, how does he galvanise his squad and his team if anything goes wrong? Where the others have been in that area, they've been in that situation, so they know how to bounce back. So that would be tough for him when you want to bounce back. He's got a good enough squad for it, and a young squad as well, to be honest. So it's between them.
Your former club, Leicester, obviously achieved the absolute impossible back in 2016. I've said this season, if Liverpool can win the league with no Virgil, no Joe Gomez, Trent out for long periods, Alisson out, Thiago out, the Ox out, Salah, Mane, COVID, I actually think, and I would never compare it to what Leicester did, but I think if we can win the league with all these things happening, the VAR decisions, the injuries, all this, it has to be up there as one of the club's greatest achievements if we can win.
Well, it'll be a bigger achievement than last season, will it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Especially when you're talking about all them missing. You're barely about we're scraping a back four together.
Park, isn't it?
So to go forward and do that with all them, your first choice, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
First choice gone for a long period of time. It'll be some achievement.
It really would. Right, Emile, what does the future hold? I mean, you mentioned earlier you're into your punditry. Management. I mean, you only stopped playing a few years ago.
4 years.
It's been a busy couple of years for you.
Yeah, I do the punditry, and I like that, to be honest with you.
Brilliant at it.
Yeah, it gives me a different. It gets me to look at things differently because, again, and I'm doing my badges as well. So when you're coaching, you look at things differently as a coach as opposed to a player. You see it differently as well. When you're a player, you're only thinking about yourself and then your teammates. Whereas as a coach, you're thinking about the whole aspect of the game. So I'm doing my badges there now. I'm coaching with Leicester Women's, so I'm helping them out as well, which is good. We're in the same league as Liverpool.
Oh,
but it's going well. It's going well. So I'm enjoying that. And then I'm doing a course with UEFA Masters for international players. That will allow me to get back into the game as well, in different aspects. So yeah, I'm keeping myself busy.
Very busy.
And hoping to stay in the game.
Absolutely. We'd love you to come back to Liverpool one day as well. How about this then for a question to finish us off?
Go on.
Take the Derby game, for example, right? You've scored a hat-trick. You go home with the match ball. What does coach Emile Heskey say to player Emile Heskey after that game?
Well done. But you missed the penalty. You
Did you miss a pen that game?
No, which one? I didn't score a hat trick.
Sorry, the Derby, was it the Derby?
Oh, the Derby guy. I thought you meant the actual Derby.
No. The Derby when you scored 3.
Coach Emile, well done. I don't know actually. What could I say to myself? Well done. Maybe score a hat trick next week. I don't know.
Keep it up, maybe. I don't know.
Keep up that good work.
Yeah,
but you got to keep them on the toes. That's the thing.
This is it, right? So I think
you got to keep them on the toes and keep them hungry, and that is the key as well. Yeah. Praise is great. And the praise you get more from someone when praising them, but you got to keep them on the toes to actually do more as well.
Yeah, you're so right. I think Gerrard has come out and said he used to get all the hugs and the love from Houllier, but Rafa comes in. It's cold. It's tough love, and that took him to a next level. Listen, just to finish this off, how do you look back at your Liverpool career, Emile? Because so many great moments.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was successful for me. Playing at the biggest club in the world, and then you don't realise until you actually get there. You know, but you don't realise until you actually get there. When you're going on tour and you can't go anywhere, it's just you realise how big the club is. And it was just we went and won, and that's the thing. When you go into these big clubs, you know it's about winning trophies, and we went there and we done it. So it was successful, and I enjoyed every single minute of it.
I bet you did. And listen, like I said, we'd love to have you back at Anfield very soon. Love that picture there as well. Heskey number 8, brilliant memories that I've got as a fan. And yeah, like I said, thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. A chat with Emile Heskey. What a roundup that was. Emile, if you could for me, just to say goodbye to the viewers, say, hello, everybody. Emile Heskey, you're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Wow. Hi, guys. I'm Emile Heskey, and you're watching the Kop TV, the voice of the most famous stand.
Absolutely smashed it. Big Emile Heskey. Round of applause for yourself, sir. Like I said, can't wait to see you back on the dugout and on the TV as well. And we're all loving your punditry. So keep it up, big man. And listen, hope to bump into you soon.
Thank you.
All the best. Take care.